people get their iPod, they fall in love with it, they go through to iTunes, and they get that initial flurry of purchasing. For whatever reason, or for a number of reasons, that behaviour then starts to die off. It may be that they then become aware that there are alternative ways of getting the music for free. Maybe they just get bored with it. Maybe they go back to their physical CD collection, and we'll see in a minute that the significant amounts of digital activity that actually derives from people's existing CD collections. Also, we do see, and we know in terms of the market, there's an awful lot of cherry picking that goes on. And we've seen that change from album-driven sales to single-track-driven sales in the market. And again, that doesn't help in terms of building consistent behaviour there. And then the final point to note is that, and this is quite a strong point to come through, is that regular paying downloaders actually fell from 2006 to 2007, from 16% to that 14% number you see there. Now we know that digital sales are going up, but those numbers start to suggest that there's a lot of people trying services, but not enough continue to buy. This chart here looks at sources of digital tracks amongst digital downloads. So, first point to make there is that over 51% of it comes from existing CD collections. So just understanding that is very important. We need to give consumers tools to manage their existing physical to digital. And certainly we need to clear up and clarify the legal issues around being able to convert CDs to digital. You'll also see there that the number of free downloads, or the number of tracks that have come from free downloads and from consumers' digital collections, outnumber paid-for downloads on a 3-to-1 basis. You'll also see there that we've got the Friends 13%, so this is the kind of so-called dark net sources, so people on USB sticks or hard drives, or even just on burnable disks. And also in that sort of free and friends, you've got 40% there in total coming from effectively unlicensed sources. And that doesn't even begin to measure some of the activity on things like blog aggregators, where consumers can go see editorial, unlicensed, but see streaming tracks, and measuring that kind of consumption as well. And finally on that point, something else that we've seen come through very strongly in the focus groups, when we talk to consumers about digital services, again, when you get beyond iTunes, they start talking about file sharing services, they start talking about the BearShares, the LimeWires, talk about the features of them. And actually, there's quite a lot of branding that's gone into file sharing networks. The user interfaces are very appealing. We've done a lot of work for digital retailers trying to design ideal services. And once you get beyond iTunes, consumers are actually talking about file sharing networks and saying, well, I'd like the search engine to work like this. I'd like the community feature on it to look more like this. And they're drawing from that. So, whilst not endorsing it, there's a lot to be learned from understanding behaviour towards file sharing networks. £5.50p being the magic numbers. So again, I'm going to talk a little bit in a minute about evolving the subscription type model. But just purely in terms of a la carte downloads, these are the prices that consumers have told us they're willing to pay for single track downloads. And we'll talk about albums on the next slide. And what you'll see there, if you look at the PC in the middle, you'll see it's sort of hovered around the kind of 50p mark. It started at 52 and had a slight spike in 2006. And then it settled 2007 at 49p. The other really interesting thing there is if you look at the mobile comparison, if you look at when we started Speakerbox in 2005, there was actually quite a significant premium for mobile over PC. That's completely switched around. So 2007, mobile now is showing a discount to PC download. I think there's probably a number of reasons behind that. I think partly there's a novelty factor that was in mobile a couple of years ago that has started to wear off now. I think there is increased, and we know there's increased bundling of mobile tracks with mobile tariffs, both in terms of operators like Free, Vodafone with Music Station on the higher level tariffs, which again might erode that kind of single track price premium. And that's very important as we start to think about how we change business models going forward, because we're seeing that sort of devaluation, if you like, in digital starting to happen. And you've got the quote there to support that. 79p, it doesn't sound like that much, but it does start to add up. If it was more like 20p to 40p, that would make a difference. And that tends to be the sort of thing that people that are file sharing and getting music for free will say, rather than somebody that's paying the 79p. So if you want to change my behaviour, look at that kind of pricing. This is the album equivalent. We've talked about how digital has had a significant impact on the way that music is consumed, much more driven by single track downloads than album bundles. And what you can see there really effectively is that it's the £5 price point. I think on mobile, we asked the question, I don't think that many consumers, in all honesty, have a concept of buying a whole album on mobile. It very much is a single track download model today at the moment. But there you can see, so that's the sort of 50p and £5 number on this screen. And that's digital versus physical comparison I talked about. It's highlighted by the quote up there. So you can go into a shop and get the real thing for £10. It doesn't make sense for me to pay that effectively for digital. It is not seen as the same product, and therefore shouldn't be marketed and retailed in the same way. Subscription may, and I think needs to be part of the future. We need to move to the so-called ARPU-based models, average revenue per user, and start to engage consumers more on a monthly, consistent paying basis rather than that digital dabbling that we talked about. This is what we call it's the speaker box spending optimism index. It sounds rather convoluted, but what we do is talk to consumers about a number of different types of purchase behaviour relating to music, whether that be PC downloads, subscriptions, mobile, physical, and we ask them, do you think you'll be spending more over the next 2 to 3 years or less? And it's a very simple mechanism. What we do is we subtract the number of people saying they're going to spend less from the number of people saying they're going to spend more. So it gives an overall forward-looking optimism index. We've got that in the full study across all the range of different behaviours. But the most dramatic fall-off was in music subscription. Overall, there's still quite a bit of optimism around. They're still saying overall it's a +6 index figure, but dramatically down in 2006. So subscription does not capture the imagination of consumers. Interestingly, the only one that had actually gone up in 2007 to 2006 was spending on physical. Now, we're not going to use that to try and predict that the physical market's going to go up, but what we are going to do is say that shows a level of dissatisfaction with the various digital models that consumers are seeing and experiencing. We then tested a number of different types of subscription models amongst consumers and asked them to rank them and say how interested they'd be in the different models. And not surprisingly, consumer research will always say, can I have it free, can I have lots of it, please? So not surprisingly, a free advertising funded model came top at 44%. However, a model that doesn't really exist, certainly in the major label world, came second at 28%. So that's all you can listen to, plus a number of permanent monthly downloads on a monthly fee basis. So the e-music model, if you like, but one that would need, the implication being would need to be a major label license model as well. But ranking quite highly at 28%. All you can listen to, plus a discounted option to buy permanent downloads. Just bear with us, it sometimes can sound quite complicated, but you have to get a digital model that can be, and we try and simplify it for consumers. And then be able to go on and purchase them on a discounted basis. So rather than getting them bundled with your monthly subscription, your monthly subscription allows you then to get a 50% discount to an iTunes price. And that came at 11%. And then at 9% was effectively the Napster model, and the model that was pursued by HMV and Virgin until fairly recently was the all-you-can-listen to on a monthly fee basis, but with no ownership aspect to it. And that scored lowest. And that's the model that's been out there in the market, and that's the one that excites consumers the least.